Alrighty, guys, here we go. So I just watched. Let me message Mad Life here. Alright, so I was just watching the VOD of the game, the first tournament game that we played of the pick ban phase, mainly because of I wanted to see how godlike the streamers or the casters rather talked about it. Because we did a really good pick ban both times. I mean, not to pat myself on the back because you guys' champ pools definitely made that happen. But I felt like it worked really well, with the only exception being that we let the Soraka and Tom Kench through. Tom Kench didn't necessarily carry the game, but it definitely made it more difficult than it had to be. Their Soraka, like you said, Oklar, definitely wasn't great, but it was definitely enough to impact the game enough to make it a lot more difficult than it had to be if they had a more traditional shitty support. So obviously in the future, I think for bans, at least as far as this patch is going right now, until it changes, which I looked at the changes for 5.2.4, and there's some small nerfs to Soraka. It's mainly mana regen, and let's see, I don't think they changed. Oh, and they changed the range on her Q, so she's got to get more. They lowered it by 125, and the mana is increased by it's marginal amounts and things like that. But anyway, well, we're gonna get into it. This is gonna be my VOD for the tournament matches. Turn on my webcam a little bit to give you guys some fan service. I know how much you like that. But what I'm gonna do is, fuck, I meant to preload the replays. Hopefully these replays open with no problem. You see I got some notes on the screen. What I'm going to do is we're going to go through the VODs in chronological order, and we're just going to go by part and really see, you know, parts to hit on. As we're going through the game, we're going to analyze different parts, see where we can do better, see, you know, what other things we need to do. And then we're going to take an overall thing for each person at the end. So we're going to have probably about 2 to 3 things for each person. And we're really going to harp on these things. And that's what you're going to want to keep in the back of your mind moving forward when you're going through games. What the fuck? Started at the beginning. Huh. Alright, so it looks like it started me in the game at 7 minutes. I'm not sure why the replay started in so late, but there wasn't really anything early except for, except for Bolomo top. Bolomo had a real hard time top. I don't know if you guys saw it, but man, was it difficult for him up there. The main thing that I noticed during the game, sorry, let me move this off to the side. So yeah, Bolomo during the game, I had to message you, man, because I guess you don't have a lot of experience playing up against the Zach, and more than likely you probably won't in the future either. But yeah, the last broadcast, but for some reason on Twitch for me it's loading super slow. I'm not sure what's up with their VODs, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go through the actual replays like this, especially since I can get in there and show you guys different things and stop and move around the map. I think going through the actual League browser is going to be a lot easier than going through their replays. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to turn off this because you definitely... Face is not important anymore. Alright. Since we're at 7 minutes here, 7 minutes is a decent time. Early game is definitely still there. We got full health on both towers here. So we know warding. So for like an initial warding, you guys have the back brush warded down here in bot lane. It's about to expire, but I mean it's normal shit's happening and things like that. But typically for me, I always go for the river bush right here. 9 times out of 10, especially with like a Tom Kench jungle, that guy's gonna be walking hella slow. 9 times out of 10, he's not gonna be coming from behind you. Granted, that is still 9 times out of 10. I think it did happen in either this game or the second game where he actually did come behind you and came for it was a hella potent gank. But you guys both have wards, so at any time when you're pushed up, especially playing a Tristana, you guys are going to be somewhere between here and up for the majority of the lane with that auto push. Tristana can come up and drop the ward right here, and you can have Uklar coming back here and dropping the ward back here. So that's definitely always going to be a thing. So MetLife, I haven't looked to see. I haven't really looked at your pink ward buying, but in mid lane, pink wards are definitely going to be a must. For me personally, I like to put the pink wards right here in the bushes. It's a good place to put it because junglers don't always catch it. Most of the time they do, but for the most part, they're going to stay up for a decent amount of time, and you're going to get the vision of them coming in right here. And it's going to stay up coming through these gank paths right here. And it's going to stay up longer than the minute to minute and a half. I think it's just a minute of the normal yellow wards. So it's a good purchase to make early on in the things that you want to do. One thing to note since we're here in mid lane, we see you definitely did a good job with the CS here. We got you got a 14 CS lead up on the Victor. Then again, he is coming up for, looks like a roam here. So anyway, that's definitely a good thing to point out. You did a good job there. And even coming up top, Bolomo, you got that CS lead over Zach, even though he's got, they got, yeah, 1 kill on you here. But even still, like, to stay from behind, you were on turret most of the game, and you kept above him in CS. So kudos to you, man. It's definitely difficult to do. All right, so we're going to go through, look at some of the action. I'm going to pull up my notes here. I only started taking notes on this one after 22 minutes. Sorry, that's my fault. I should have been doing better note taking early. But what I'm going to do is we're going to sort of cut through the game. Since obviously this is yesterday, I don't remember all of like the key action points. We're probably going to chop through it about every 2 minutes and look at ward coverage because that's a big thing. I'm going to try to find some of the fights, but really we're going to look at rotations and ward coverage are a big part. So let's roll through and look at some of this. I don't remember what happens right here. Yeah, this is just Andrew checking to saw the ward, going back. Probably, definitely a good choice, especially since that first gank definitely. I do remember that first gank pretty well, and I'm sure everybody was real frustrated after that one. So, but it's okay, man. Shit like that happens. We're gonna jump up, like I said. We're gonna go to 9 minutes now. So this is where, yeah, Uklar gets the double kill bot. Let's take a look at that fight real fast so we can give kudos to these guys. 820. Okay. Fuck, I jumped at the same time. What an idiot. Jump a little bit farther back. Alright. Let's watch these guys duke it out, because I know not everybody got to see this. Zulkar goes in and plays aggressive with their lane being less. Definitely a good choice. He's always got the clutch lanterns going in. And I really think Pipsqueak got good prioritization there on targets. Although right here, I'll pause this P. So right there when you went in on that, man, you definitely, if you were playing safer on it after you killed her, wait, let's jump back 15 seconds. Fuck. All right, so what I'm trying to look for right here is the mana afterwards. And oh yeah, you definitely had plenty of mana to jump right back out. Look at your health and look at his. That should have been a jump right back out. When you're playing in lane, you take every victory you can and move forward. There's no reason to press up like that because you already have a CS lead. Now you have a kill lead on them. There was really no reason to stay forward there. But regardless, you guys did a good job, and there was definitely a good trade in lane. So now we're at 9 minutes. We can look at ward coverage again a little bit. Ward recently placed. We got a pink ward right here by Andrew. So good job, Andrew, dropping pink wards down. It's definitely a good spot too because a lot of times if they're playing an aggressive jungler, especially with Tom Kench being that he's a melee champion and has to walk, I would not be surprised if 9 times out of 10 this is going to be the optimal gank path for him, coming straight through here rather than coming through river because obviously being a melee champion there's no way to be able to do anything coming through there. Let's see, let's look back up at the top. The CS is obviously going to start to equalize a little bit because your biggest trouble on Malphite here in this lane is that you have the constriction of mana, whereas he doesn't. But things like that, man, that blob right there, I can't say that enough. I'm sure you'll be kicking yourself later, but those are just the little things that would completely have won you the lane single-handedly. Oh, fuck. I was talking. This was a hella nice gank. I'm pretty sure I even mentioned something to you during the game on this. Got the roam from Uklar, and then the fake out. Boom! With the Gragas barrel. The flash hook. Beautiful. Everything about that, absolutely beautiful. It was fantastic play from everybody. We had Pipsqueak down there staying relatively safe. He played back in lane. Might have taken like a Q or so from Lucian. Ew, and he missed the cannon. You should always feel like death after you miss cannons. It's a perfectly reasonable reaction. But anyway, stayed safe in lane. Uklar went up for the roam. Since you guys just got the kills in lane, you're perfectly fine. It was definitely a right choice to make. However, let's look at wards on hand. Where do I see this? Okay, here we go. Wards on hand. So I know you got one ward placed. But you're going back up now to fix that. Okay, so NBD. We got that pink ward right there. You got your ward up here in lane. All that's fine. I don't remember when that was placed. But so far, everything's looking good. Everybody's making right calls. I like everything I see. So we're going to jump ahead another 2 minutes here. Or do 3 minutes, actually. Alright, so we had a kill on Gragas. So we got the fight right here. Oh, that was... Okay, so let's go, we'll check it out a little bit further back. Alright, so we got Gragas coming in for a gank here. Alright, so this thing... So we saw the teleport coming in. We should have definitely all went out. I don't know. This is... Yeah, obviously you realize you made a mistake. It's a bummer. You just... You committed. It makes sense. So... Because I think we talked about that in another game. Oh, it was the beginning of this game that we talked about it, where you had walked out of a fight and not committed on it, and which that one you just overcommitted on it. It's just the thing. You'll find the balance on it. You know, nothing really to harp on there. Uklar played a little aggressive there for the ward. These are all things that you already know, though. So overall, I mean, nothing big. You guys just little mistakes that you get from trying to be not being conservative enough, rather. So right here, just being a little bit more conservative, dropping another ward on top of it, because I'm sure you had the wards in the inventory in order to drop down. Yeah, you definitely had the wards in inventory to drop on top of that. So yeah, just in the future, we'll just throw the ward on top, not contest, and let them go. Because you knew that they were all down there. So especially if you know that there's more than 2 or 3 people down in bot lane, just cut your losses and we'll move forward. So let's get a little bit more into the mid game. These little skirmishes aren't necessarily going to be very helpful. We'll go back into this fight. So we got Bolomos clearly winning. Sees the Abyssal Voyage come in. Knows the move out. That was the biggest bummer. Yeah, Andrew. Kind of bummed up there a little bit. But yeah, obviously just missed the barrel on that one. That's okay. Yeah, nothing really more to say on that one. It sucks. But shit like that's going to happen. So just a small team fight. Small mechanical errors. But that's okay. Overall, I think that your play was really good. I think that the majority of the plays that you made overshadow the small mistakes you made. So that's okay. I'm just sorry that it ends up we end up highlighting him here more than we really need to. So since we're at 19 minutes, we're going to look at some of our award coverage here. So these were dropped by... So we got Uklar here on a roam and Uklar here, I guess on a roam top. So this is before the tier 1 tower is down up here. So it was a little preemptive. Actually, looking at the time on it, it probably isn't. I'm wrong. Actually, Uklar put this down at a pretty good time. This right here is a little too defensive for my liking, because you still have this tower up right here. That's a whole lot of vision you're given to right here, and it's kind of implied that you have this whole jungle path taken out. The only path in is right here. So when you think about it, you're really limiting your vision from the river right here. So granted, they can still sweep it, or I'm going to pause actually. So they can still sweep it or do whatever, but you can move your vision line up. There's no need to be more conservative than you have to just because you're expecting a sweep or something like that. You should always go with the expectations of getting the maximum amount out of your wards. So try to keep your line level going through. You don't want to move too far back. This would be something here if you didn't have this tower right here. Down on the bot side, we still have these two wards right here, just fine with this tower being up. Ward right here. This is fine. I'm okay with this. This is Bolomo's ward from him coming down to Dragon. But I would definitely prefer it, Bolomo, since if you're going to be doing Dragon right here, I would definitely prefer the ward to come from up here. Even if there's no ward right here, you put it right here on the top of the bush. Gosh, I can't tell you how much that is a benefit to right here. You can't see him coming, sitting in the bush. 9 times out of 10, though, if you're doing Dragon and they know that you're doing it, just you seeing them coming should get you to start posturing and have everybody sort of splinter down this way. So you'd have Gragas here. You guys definitely set it up right, so everybody's in the correct positions. But that's just something that, so you'll know before they're typically like right on top of your dick. Because you have fucking Zach. If he gets to this point, he's already on top of you. If he's right here and you see him, you know that something's coming, and everybody has a second to say, all right, there's going to be a dark spot on top of us in a second, and we're going to know what's going on. Sorry, I think that horse is dead, beaten right there. That's a good ward right here too. Yeah, Mad Life. Stuck a nice one down just to see. I'm guessing we probably saw Lucian at one point or another. You know, you pinged him in there and dropped the ward on top. So yeah, that's decent. And I'm pretty sure something comes out of this, so let's see how this dragon fight played out. So we got hella wards coming out, and we got... Alright, let's jump back 15 seconds. Man, 15 seconds ends up being a real long time. Alright, so we got the wards dropping down, and we have Pipsqueak, all three of these guys sitting on Dragon, because obviously Dragon is your guys' #1 priority, which I still disagree with. And you know, normally I would just say that it's an opinion, but I've been watching a lot of the HGC Challenger tournament, and I also watched the Kespa Cup. So both were played on the current patch, and nearly every team puts little to no. Oh, I thought there was static coming through. It's just my headphones. Sorry, but anyway, every team puts little to no faith in getting to 5 dragons in a game. So really what you're looking for is just the buffs from it. Which the buffs for 3 and 4 dragon are very, very marginal. Really, the first 2 buffs are really what you're going to want. So it doesn't necessarily take a precedence over pushing a lane which you see right here. We have a lane is growing in bot lane. See, it's coming right here. This lane is going to crash first. So you got a wave growing in bot. More than likely going to have a wave growing in... actually, a wave's going to even out bot. But they do have a wave crashing in mid. So really, like, I'm always going to say we need to focus towers over over dragons. But regardless, I'm going to stop being the dead horse. I'm going to go into this team fight here since we do have a full 5. So we have, back to what I was talking about in the team fight, we have Pipsqueak, you all the way back here playing super defensive. So you have these two guys right here doing the dragon thing. Bolomo's in a good spot. He's right here. All he needs to do is walk out just a little bit, and his ult is going to be straight into this team fight. So you're in a good spot. Gragas is doing his thing. He's ready to get the smite off on Dragon. Probably you could have moved up to about right here, because you don't necessarily need to get your autos off to have a full effectiveness on it. You just need to be in smite range, just in case they throw off a Hail Mary and try to steal it or something like that. So really, Pipsqueak, you want to be sort of on the outside, probably next to Madlife, in order to get your damage on the other team while still alternating and getting autos until they get in here. Because you want to be able to turn immediately and start fighting and not have everybody split up. Because what happened is Uklar went in here and I believe you flayed them away. Okay, so that would be the correct thing to do since you're basically separated from the team. You're just playing like a lineman right now and trying to keep them out of everybody back here. But everybody pretty much, you can see from the start of this fight, everybody's already abandoned you. Everybody's in right here. You have 5 people on top of you. You are as good as dead pretty much. And like I said, that's mainly from the positioning of Pipsqueak here. But moving forward, we're going to let this play out and see what... Alright, so we're going to look at what happens. This is with our... So we saw one of our carries. Pipsqueak got zoned back here by the Zac. Just stayed in on it. In this case, man, I definitely would have made the jump into the fight and not just sat there and shot the tank. That was definitely because when you look at his items, he's 2-0-4. Granted, you're 2-1-3, but this Zac is hella tanky right now, and he's going to gain a hell of a lot of life, plus doing the percent of health damage. So pretty much it was a losing fight, regardless of what items you could have had at this point in time. And then the rest, everybody pretty much just scrambles to get away since Uklar and Madlife has died. There's nothing we could have done from the fight. It was lost from the start. Andrew was, let's see what happened with Andrew in the fight. Let's go back a little bit more. Alright, so we got fight going. Madlife made his play. Good or bad. I don't know, Bolomo hit 2 of them in here. You got the Soraka, a decent target, yes. But also not what's going to be doing the damage and killing everybody. So to focus Soraka and Kench as hard like that, not something I completely agree with. I would definitely prioritize the carries more so. But I think the Gragas ult of that was as an attempt to do that, and it was a decent try. I mean, that's the best decision I guess you could have made out of the situation. But okay, I think we were sufficiently over this fight here, so I guess we can go 4 times. So yeah, we're just going to move forward. I'm going to do this rather than skipping. This makes a lot more sense to see the progression of things. So we see we're starting to have wards filter out here. We're at 22 minutes in the game. I'll pause right here. 22 minutes in the game. There we go. We got a ward coming out by Madlife. Good spot for it. I agree with that. We have mid tower down. Like I said, it's arguable to put right here, or at this time I would feel a little bit better about you putting it right here. But in one of these 2 spots is where it needs to go. Also at this point we're going to be having the invades coming in. So ward right here or one back here at blue is fine with me. This one, you don't necessarily catch them coming in from lane, but 9 times out of 10 you'll see them with the wave coming in from lane. So really these 2 spots are going to be an optimal point for a ward. You're also going to want to have one down here in bot side, which that's going to be your job right now primarily, Uklar. Pipsqueak's got an IE, a Zeal, and Berserker Greaves. He could definitely take the Krugs by himself. So he's at the point in the game where he's fine, unless he's jumping in the lane and you don't see any of the enemy champions, which is currently going on right now. It'd be a decent idea to go with him to lane. But as far as him doing the Krugs right here, you definitely could have used these moments in order to get a few wards out. So what you need to do as Pipsqueak, if you're going to come into this lane, you have your ward coverage right here. You know that this is essentially... I was pointing at the screen like a dumbass and not using the pointer. This is going to be your line of scrimmage right here. Any point past this, and you could die. That's pretty much what you have to think of it. So as soon as you go back past here, you have to be ready at any moment from this bush to be able to die. Normally, I would send a blue ward, which you have your yellow right now, which I don't necessarily agree with, but I forget to buy the blue ward all the time myself, so, you know, it shit happens. I would definitely stick my yellow ward in right here, kill the wave out, and back off. Because everybody on the map, except for Zach right now, is hidden. Oh, and Lucian, I guess. Which, Zach and Lucian are the only two that can really jump on you and start fucking you up. Tom Kench would have to ult on you, which you could jump away from. And these are all things that you would be able to see and pretty much immediately know that, alright, I'm safe to farm this wave and push up the tower. Which I'm not sure if that's what you do or not, but... Anyway, the main thing I'm trying to get out of this... I'm sorry, I got kind of off on a tangent. The main thing you want to get out of this is, Uklar, you need to use the time effectively and get some wards placed out. But you might end up doing this. We'll see what happens. So we sit here helping them. And... Look at that. Fuck me. You go and do your thing. Okay, just a quick thing to point out here. Uklar, this is a little repetitive. If you're going to put one right here, don't put one in this bush, put it above it. If you're going to put one right here, have one like right here or in this bush. But all this vision right here in one spot, you're overlapping and you're not getting the maximum effectiveness out of your wards. So you're going to want to make sure, because this one right here is not seeing this through lane right here. You're missing out on all of this vision. So you're definitely going to want, and if you already have this here, there's no point in doubling up on this little fucking elbow right here. There's no need on it. So just a small little tidbit on wards and how to put them there. Excuse me. I also support main season 2 and 3. It's mostly why it's kind of my soapbox that I jump on. And it's also something that's really critical in these games, especially since right now we're playing a siege comp. We need to know where people are at, or essentially at every phase in the game, in order to effectively make rotations. So we're going to go through here. This is the catch on Soraka that we overcommitted on. And I'm sorry, I don't want to slow down. I want to go back. So this is, I believe it was Andrew that pointed out afterwards how this was not the best idea. So we got Bolamo ulted in on Soraka. You see Soraka, Tom Kench. What's Tom Kench right there? I think you saw him as you were ulting. Definitely not something you could back out on. But look at our vision. We don't have vision on Lucian. We just barely have Lucian on Victor. And we do have vision on Zach. So you ulted in right there, 3-on-3, with all these guys right here and no vision behind it. So we don't see the rest of our team on us. But what you do know, Pipsqueak's down bot. It's a lot to make in a split-second decision, and I understand. I mean, that's not something that I would think about either. But when you're making those Malphite ultimates, take a second and look at the map. That's what you want to take out of this Bolmo. For every Malphite ultimate, do the math in your head on how many people are going to be in this fight and how many carries you're going to hit. Or carries, or I guess important champions. Because I would definitely put Soraka's not a carry, but it's definitely an important champion. It's something that is to prioritize if we do let it through in a game. So we're going to play it out. And we see everybody coming through. Obviously, Tom Kench comes and saves the rescue because that guy's fucking OP. And we have this Zach come through and just shits on everybody like he does. And we have that Victor just comes through, raffle stomps, and shits on everybody. A real quick note on Andrew for using the sweeper. The new season sweeper, I don't know the best way to use it. I'd say normal, because normally the way I would use it is I would sweep this section right here and walk through with the vision, walk through this here, clear all this. Excuse me. And clear, because normally you can sweeper right here, clear this and this, and you have enough time to see this one right here. Granted, that's if you only kill one ward. So going through, just sweeping sections, you want to try, even if you kill one, get the maximum maximum out of it and see all the wards so you can come back and clear it next time, or know places to avoid and know that you'll have vision on you. But that's just a small thing. Take on that pretty well. So they go ahead and they do Baron after this because they saw that Malphite ult was down. Malphite is dead. And then we saw that Azir was dead as well. No, I think it was Uklar that was dead. But anyway, and that was pretty much all stemmed from Pipsqueak being bot and everybody else being mid. That is not Pipsqueak's fault. That is a team effort. We need to make sure when we're having people move towards the map, we need to have a plan on what we're doing. I'm going to pause this right here so we can talk about this. We need to have a plan on a siege comp. We want to have a turret next that we're going to focus and a turret that we're going to take down. We need to know where their team is at in order which turret we need to defend, or how many turrets they're going to take and how many we're going to take if we're not going to defend it. And this is all going to be based off of your creep waves. So if we look right here, their creep wave is pushing towards us. You can see just because of this creep is going to die first. This one is going to take a couple extra hits. We can play it out and I can prove it to you. Oh, fuck me. Or I'm a fucking liar, an RNG. Whatever. Fuck me. Normally it's a little bit random. It all basically is dependent on the cannon minion right here. The cannon minion is equivalent in power to about 4 caster minions, and it's about equivalent to durability to about 4 melee minions. So looking at it in lane, you can kind of, that's the way that you should normally think about them as far as how they're going to push the wave. The easiest way to push a wave is if you have 2 waves crashing evenly. If you kill all of the caster minions and leave the melee the melee minions, that'll create essentially a super wave, because those melee minions stay alive for quite a bit with just your 3 caster line on them and the melees, and it'll buy you enough time in order to create 2 waves to come up almost simultaneously on the next wave crashing in if they come up evenly. So if you're leaving the wave, you're going to miss out on that 3 CS, but the wave that it creates out of that is going to buy you a tower afterwards. So in a siege comp, that's one thing to think about from all of our carries here. So Bolamo, Madlife, and Pipsqueak, those are things that you want to think about when we're doing minion wave control on a siege comp. So I'm going to write that down. That's a big thing that we want to focus on here. Minion wave control. I should have been writing down this shit for people. Fuck. So Bolamo is going to be Malphite ult management / team visibility. Write that down. Okay. So we're gonna play. I've done that shit enough. So this right here, shit happening. Almost catch dude out. So what prompted this siege mid? Well, they have Baron, so it's we're kind of at a losing spot right here because they have Baron. We have Pipsqueak down here defending against Zac because he has Baron minions, and he's going to be able to do quite a bit to the tower. So it's understandable that you went in for the skirmish and tried to stay alive as long as possible and keeping the tower alive. It can go either way. Sometimes it can be a bad decision and sometimes it isn't. It's really just depending on the situation. Right here with his items and with your items, I could say it would go either way. Because, I mean, obviously he fucks you up here. So, you know, there's no way that you could have known that going in if you thought that you could have hit him the right way, dodge the skill shots and whatnot. But, I mean, his health is pretty ridiculous. And you didn't want to leave the turret and let all this hit on it. But it is just one small wave. So, but you had no waves mid and then all those people. I think you made the right choice. Yeah, you made the right choice here. And we had everybody else mid defending. So, I think everybody's doing the best they can to make the good part out of this situation. Win, minion wave. Yep, you have to give that up. There's not really much we could do. This is one that we can defend on. We do. Give it up. They have Baron, so they have Baron and an almost 10k gold lead, or 8k gold lead on you guys. So, I mean, you have to give that up too. Okay, so we're at 26 minutes in the game, and let's take a look at our ward coverage again. So we have this unkillable ward down here. He is pretty much godlike in this game. We have, so at this point we've lost almost all tier 2 towers except for at top. So our ward line should be probably at about right here where this guy is at. I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to be right here, but since it's still there, it's fine. Typically, I would put one right here in this bush, have one right here, or yeah, have one right here, or have one right here. If you didn't have this one here, I would put it up here. If you didn't have one right here, I would put this ward right here. But since, what the fuck am I trying to say? If you didn't have this ward right here, sorry, I would ward right here in the red elbow and right here, because that's cutting off this whole part of the jungle right here and this part of the jungle right here. So what you're going to do, Uklar, is you have a ward here, here, and here. Your bot side of the jungle, done. Not really any other wards necessary, because we know where everybody else is moving in from. Except for one right here, obviously. Andrew, you can take a ward right here. Then we have Bolamo. Bolamo still is warding trinket, correct? Yep. Bolamo still is warding. He can have 1 to 2 wards out right now, but we just have pinks out covered. For the most part, we're pretty decent on ward coverage. We're pretty decent. Yep. Can't fault you guys on that. Oh, you know, going through this, I could have just looked at my notes. Oh wait, actually I'm not at the notes yet. We have to wait till... Actually, you know what? I did have tournament. I had game modes the whole time. Haha. What a dummy dum-dum. Oh man, that flash. Feels bad, man. .jpg. Sorry about that. Yeah, just a skirmish top. Not much to comment on that. It's just an unfortunate situation. But you guys caught him out, made a decent play. But things we need to be thinking about right here is, obviously they don't have Baron anymore, so we need to come up with another offensive strategy. Right here we have, this wave is going to be pushing towards us. I know that one for a fact because it has the cannon minion. No wave coming out. Yeah, this wave is definitely going to be pushing back towards us, but everybody's coming back to defend mid. Now, what I would have done is had Mad Life stay right here and clear this wave. That means, because we have a couple extra caster minions here. More than likely, this is going to prioritize this one, and then this one. So we still have an extra one here. So if you were to kill everybody here, this wave is still going to be pushing. And we still have a tier 1 tower up here, which at this point in the game is going to die super fast. So Mad Life, if you're in the lane, it takes you 2 seconds to clear it out. We already have Tristana there to clear it. We can't really get much clear more than that. And you know, but by the time you get to this lane, they're all going to be dead anyway, just from the tower alone. So take the extra second to clear the minions in order to, 1, get you the gold, and 2, get us that map pressure. So the thing to take from this Mad Life is, again, wave control. So right here, looking at the wave, really actually not even that. Just knowing that you can't get to mid in time in order to effectively clear anything out, you should use your time wisely up here. Because we already see Bolamos going back, and we have 2 at the turret. So use your time wisely in order to get this out of the way. So we're going to move it forward. Andrew comes in. Boom. Swag Life. Gets a good kill on Victor. Definitely a good play. I really like this. And Pipsqueak has to go over champions. I'll go over champions a little bit more probably after the 2 games. But I really like the picks that we put you on, Andrew. I feel like you did a really good job at pick-oriented junglers. So I'd like to know what your thoughts are on what you like to play, and we'll try to fit some team comps around something like that. But as of right now, I was really impressed with the jungler play. So, again, so we got everybody kind of farting around in mid, jungle clear, and you guys following each other. This is something that, with ward coverage, we shouldn't really be doing. I understand that, the feel the need to be scared, but you guys... So, man, I don't know what I harped you guys on so hard for word coverage. Because when you actually watch it, you guys did a good job. The word coverage here is great. But then again, it's great if you plan on not leaving. So you guys got to play defensively and pretty much just farm the waves as they come into you. Which, being down, you guys already turned the gold weed down from 8k to a little over 5k. So, and that was with the Victor kill included. Victor and Zach, I believe, happened also within that time span. So, a decent job. Definitely making the best of it. I know it sounded like I was going to say something else right there. I can't really know what to say. So again, we still have all 4 people down here. This is another thing I was thinking of while we were in game. 30 minutes and everything. Yeah, actually, man, I looked at my notes. At 29:25, I said the boards are getting good. So while we're sitting down here, we have this long siege down in bot where the 4 of them are coming in, but we have awesome wave clear because we built a siege comp and we prepared the Tristana as well as the Azir for the inevitability of something like this happening. Really, the thing we're missing out of right here is getting Bolamo down into that fight. Because up here, we got the wet noodle contest, and honestly, his noodles are working a lot better than yours are. Especially with all of the magic resist that he has in here right now. And since you're primarily armor resist, which is kind of a questionable call, considering, the only AD guy is going to be Lucian right now. Zach being pretty heavy AP, Tom being marginal AP, and Victor being really heavy. You might have went for the Banshee's Veil instead of going for the Warden's Mail afterwards. Because Malphite is innately armor-heavy tank. Has a high base armor. So you can really get away with building probably just the one armor item and be fairly decent against a 1 AD threat team. So something to think about in the future when you're getting dicked so hard by AP, you're going to want to try to prioritize that. Because if you're dying to an AD carry, it's something you're going to want to blow up in the first place. So, just something to think about. But really what we needed you here for right now is to come down into this fight, dick these guys over, and then let's get something made out of it. We're at 30 minutes into the game. We're looking at about 30 to 45 minute respawn times. That's enough time to get out here and grab a Baron, or maybe grab this tier 1 or tier 2 towers. We would have plenty of time to push out and get something like that done. So if we come up here and he does some damage on the tower, so be it. He's not going to be able to take the tower with just a shit wave, and maybe he has like 1.5 waves coming. The amount of time you would have had to come down here and make a play on here, which I believe we even have teleport up. You could have made a clear after you saw this wave was cleared right here, walk back, teleport in right here to this fucking ward. Oh my god, that would have been the sexiest thing ever. I would have creamed my panties with that teleport when it came in. So that's something that you got to think about. When you see everybody at a gridlock right here, you were the playmaker. We pretty much have you at the star at this point. Because a Gragas barrel catching somebody out with a poke back in it, a poke back and forth is going to be something that's incredibly difficult to do. Can be done, yes, but I definitely wouldn't fault you for not making a play like that because that's something that's hard. So, thing we want to take out of this conversation is Bolamo. When we have gridlocks and we're playing defensive, and you are our heavy initiate champion, let's make the teleport play, or we'll take some of the tower damage with you walking down and get a play out of it, rather than having everybody stay down here into a losing fight, because they have the gold advantage on us. They also have one of a main tank down here. Excuse me. So we just need to make a play and make something happen. So again, yeah, just gotta stand still, wet noodle fight, stand still. So he lets the Zac in, does the damage, and goes right back up to him. Yeah. And then he just goes mid, pushes that all out. Nothing happens. So we got, alright, so now we got everybody down here, waiting on something to happen. And they're like, well, We don't really need to engage. We'll just keep farming these waves. Well, let's just take their jungle. Oh, this is where they make the play for Baron. So we had everybody disappear on the map. You guys know where they're going for Baron. That's pretty obvious. So let's see what happens. Make the check. We know what's happening. Alright, so this is a team fight coming in right here. I believe we had a lot of debate as far as what went on here and what was ways to do. So we were going into the Baron pit. And we have vision on it. Looks like Bolomo just dropped the ward down. So we see we got these, probably just him and Lucian visible. And then we also have Soraka and these guys. So virtually the whole team is visible. And we know they're currently not doing Baron. So now, what are we thinking about? We're not thinking about our... I'm sorry. So Pipsqueak is thinking about the front line. This is the only target near him. This is really the only target that's near the team on the map. So really, it's your best bet to go for the main target right there. Really, and what everybody wants to do is collapse in on that. Their team is separated. We do not want to stay separated. We want to stay as a single unit. If anything we take from this conversation, we want to stay as a single unit. I gotta start writing the takeaways down from these conversations. That would make a lot more sense. In team fights. Okay. Alright, so we're going to play at a half speed and see what goes on here. So their team starts collapsing in, and we got Bolomo is kind of caught out here. He's hella tanky, so I wouldn't necessarily call it caught. But you're moving in at sort of an awkward angle, and you're so separated from the rest of the team that if you were to make an engage on something like this right here, it would do next to nothing. So that's why it helps to stay. Like if you walked in the same route that Thresh did, since he was able to get vision on these two guys right here, you could have easily walked the same way and stuck the word here or here. I'm sorry, I pointed my finger again like an idiot. You could have stuck it in this brush right here, or on top of the scuttler right here. I didn't see what your walk path was before it, so it's a possibility that you already started walking back through this way. But just in the future, when we know that Baron fight is coming up, we want to think single unit. We know a team fight is coming. We want to stay as a single unit. Alright, so we're going to play this forward. So we got... Alright. So this is the thing that... Pipsqueak had a lot of trouble this game, because we have Zach right in his face the whole time, and there's nothing anybody's doing about it. It's literally, as an AD carry main, the most frustrating game and the most annoying game to play is one that you have people with their dick in your mouth the entire game. Gosh, do I hate playing like that. So, the way to fix that is we have all these people back here. And obviously, Zach's a hard one to peel. I get that. But an Uklar is up here is zoning everybody out. That's fine. Dropping the box right here. You're zoning the fight away. Excuse me. And it looks like everybody's dropping back to take out the Zach. Which Pipsqueak's got the Lord Dominic's regards. Not a bad call. I think the way that this is starting off is fine. Gragas should have been in here with the after he started ulting, come in there with the stun, and let's get Uklar in there with a grab and then a flay back. That's what we should have had right off this. But let's see what actually happens. I'm going to slow it down a little bit more. So we got... And that's exactly what happened. Uklar made the flay back. We got our team coming back as a unit. We have Azir trying to stay at range. Pipsqueak trying to stay at range. I agree with these so far. But we got, what is Bolomo doing up here? What are we doing, bud? So this right here is what I'm talking about, where we stay as a single unit. What you were trying to do, I get it. You were trying to stave off their entire team. So, I gotta drink of water. Hold on one sec. You were staving off their entire team, so these guys have time to take on this. So you were effectively peeling the entire team from our entire team, which is basically doing the same thing this guy's doing, which in my opinion is the wrong thing to do. This Zach basically sacrificed his life to get down damage. However, Zach does percent of health damage, which is naturally going to do quite a bit more than what you do based on whatever your AP is, which as you can see right now, you have no AP. You're a tank. You're literally in this game 0 damage. You should be never using any of your abilities and expect to get damage off of it or any kills. Oh, I'm sorry. 520. I'm sorry, Pipsqueak. You said to rewind at one point, and I missed the chat. Oh, and this chat's coming on the side. Oh, all right. Sorry, I'm just not looking at your guys' chats. Might be. If you guys are all on right now, let's jump into TeamSpeak, and I'm gonna jump into TeamSpeak real fast so we can get this going. What you'll need to do is mute the stream when I get into TeamSpeak, but yeah, obviously because it'll be the back feed. God, fucking Windows 10, man, it doesn't. It's not saved as an app. It doesn't show up for some fucking reason. Oh, I think I went into C. Fucking damn it, 64-bit. Fuck my entire life. Oh, there we go. Are you fucking kidding me? Where does it fucking drop this shit at? Excuse me. Setup is loading. That's not what I wanted to do at all. Fuck me. TeamSpeak right here, you fucking idiot.
Connected. User left your channel. User joined your channel. Channel
Wow.
switched.
Holy shit, that took forever.
Alright, sorry about that. What's up, pimps?
Hey, yeah, no, I forgot. You went back anyway when I asked you to, so we're,
Oh, did I?
yeah.
Dope. I'm a fucking mind reader.
Alright,
Alright, so do you guys like the way that I go through this, by the way? Is that okay for you?
hold on, I
Yes.
gotta mute this shit. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, the echo was.
Yeah, I gotta mute this shit.
We're gonna hear you twice.
Yeah, the echo's gonna go on for a little bit too. Actually, no, it's not. I mean, that was just for
Just
me.
mute the
Mute
stream because
Yeah, or me.
there's no point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, so do you guys like? Are you guys okay with the way I do the analysis? Is that working for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it
I
too
think
much or
we
too
miss-
little? Obviously, it's not too
No,
little. I'm
I
pretty
think
into
it's
it.
good. I think it's
Yeah, I like
kind of
it.
we need it.
Okay.
I want you to call us out on our bullshit.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm doing. I'm
That's
trying to get
good.
a good mix of calling out on the bullshit and the good stuff as well. So, which I think there's plenty of good stuff to go off of. So I think we're good on that.
Like in this fight right here, right when it started,
Mhm.
would it have been better for me to walk up, right, and then jump
so-
over the wall and kill that Soraka?
Hold on, let's go back to see what you're talking about here.
Because I was in position. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I was in a good position right there. Just to, like, zone everyone else off. Then they like 3v1 Zach, or at least try to.
Remember,
Okay.
we're gonna be behind you.
I know. What the fuck? My pause and play isn't working anymore.
Yeah, wrecked.
Yeah. Like right there.
What the actual fuck, dude?
So he
Yeah.
ults in, right? He ults in. Alright. You trying to
You could
pause
have
it
ulted
though.
the Zach back. Did you ult the
It
Zach
really
back?
isn't working.
Okay. Oh. Oh wait. You ulted them into a body slam, I think. That's awkward.
Dude, like it literally does not pause. I cannot get it to pause anymore.
I'll tab out and then
Sure.
I'll tab back in.
Like 4 to 6 or something.
My dinner's being hit. Cool.
Wow, that's awkward.
Yeah, it doesn't. Wow, that's fucking lame. All right,
Press
so
escape? I don't know.
yeah. All right, so we'll go back to this fight. We'll just watch it at 2.5. Okay. Oh, hold on. I'll just watch this stream.
Make sure it's on the other screen though. And
Yeah.
then we're gonna watch you watching this stream.
Yeah, I know. All right, so basically right here, where you think you should
So right-
jump over?
To kill Soraka, right? Like
Yeah,
if,
look
'cause look
if
how
you would've-
positioned to the left they are.
I know, but
So-
look if you would have jumped in right there, you would have literally all of your team is right there, funneled through the jungle. You would have literally been right by yourself. That would have been
Okay,
absolutely the worst
okay.
spot for you to go.
Okay.
What you guys did right here is fine. The only problem we had was Bolomo trying to zone everybody. And then
Yeah,
of
I think
course
if he walked back first and then ulted later, said like re-engage.
exactly, yeah, if he would have had just a
Oh, the
second so everybody
lantern.
could have went in on it.
Yeah.
Clutch
I tried-
lantern,
I
did you
tr-
grab
I
it?
tried to heal him. He died though. He still died.
Yeah, I know.
tried to heal.
I said.
Oh yeah. Clutch lantern. Yeah, Oakland's really got lanterns. You guys definitely have Thresh down, that's for sure. Mechanics are definitely not the problem.
My freshman baby.
Yeah. But yeah, so that team fight, that's pretty much. I'm not gonna say it was all Bolamo, but we definitely have to have, like I said, our main focus is we need to start working as a single unit, and we definitely just
we
didn't
killed
have all the
Baraka.
communication down.
Yeah.
So then this right here, this is Pipsqueak getting real ballsy.
I play ballsy a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, you should. I'm all about it. Making the grab. Yeah, these guys. This is when they overextend, and you guys dick them up pretty hard. So it was definitely the right call to make. I mean, if they're gonna overextend, definitely capitalize on the kills that you can. Like this is where
This
Pips.
is the sexy triple.
Yeah, this is the reset.
Yeah, I think I flashed for no reason though. Let's watch.
No, actually, I don't
Look
think
at
I don't think you had
Double
range
Frog.
on it.
No, right here. Look, I flashed here against Soraka.
Right, I know.
Oh, okay, you're ahead.
You-
Alright.
But yeah, I don't think she was in range right there.
Alright. Fair enough.
Unless you had. Oh, you do have gun. I don't think gun was back up though.
You were full elephant. He just one shot you.
Yeah, he did mad damage.
He
I
killed.
healed. I healed right before that. Thank God.
Boom. Yeah, it's hella damage. It's a little ballsy right there, but I mean, I would have done the same thing.
Dude, when's my play coming up?
Never. I'm just kidding. Dude.
Nah, dude, I got one. in this
I'm just
game,
kidding.
dude.
Said I was kidding. Okay. Nice lantern grab.
Yeah.
I wasn't trusted, dude.
What do you mean not trusting me?
Hey, dude, if I've grabbed that lantern, who knows? Maybe you'd be dead right now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right, so that team fight. So we know the things that went wrong.
I
We'll
can't
look down
call
here.
team. I can't shot call team fights. It's too much for me.
Okay. Well then let's get that on somebody else then. Somebody who feels more comfortable on it.
I can't concentrate on what I'm doing and like call out targets.
See, I would say me, but it's kind of hard when like Zach's in my face. Like I'm just gonna say Zach, and that might not be the best thing for the team.
Because like straight up,
No.
if I'm in a team fight, I will say literally the person next to me.
For team fights, honestly, I feel like those are going to be within jungler or top lane are going to be the best ones to call something like that.
I can't. Like I
Uh,
was doing it like in those games, or at least I thought I was, and like I can't.
Well, to
what
be
I'm
honest, the
doing
way
is
that we
my
played
mind's
both
jungle.
games is we played both of them with our top laner and our jungler being the ones to make those sort of calls. Like the way Gragas plays, the way that Malphite plays, those guys definitely should have been the ones making the calls.
Okay, so then
So-
we'll put it on one of them for these practices, and
Yeah, we'll
See
see
how it
which one of them
goes.
feels comfortable with it.
yeah.
I can pretty much do everything vocal except like calling targets in fights,
Okay.
Like- unless it's just like
Okay, so I'll look back at.
or like before I would be like say whatever, focus this person, try and get him, whatever. But just like in the moment, I can't. Okay, my dinner is ready. I will be back soon.
Okay.
Okay.
So, our game is most likely going to be Friday now. But
Alright, thank God.
I haven't made it official yet because I gotta talk to Tuna.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Actually, all right. So for the rest of this one, since I got some of your guys' inputs, I'm gonna jump out of the TeamSpeak again for a second, so I can comment on this like as I see it, because it's kind of difficult
Okay.
to do it on the stream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, I'm just gonna mute my mic.
Microphone muted.
So you can hear what
Microphone
we say.
activated. Microphone
Yeah, so I can
remote
hear if you guys have a
activated.
contact or anything.
Yeah.
All right.
Microphone muted.
Okay, so let me take a look at this.
You use the male voice. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I use the male voice or whatever. So right here, made the call for dragon. Again, this is third dragon. Based on everything we have on the map, we got a lane crashing in top. We have this one right here, but we have 0 wards down. Nobody laid a ward when we walked out. Nobody laid a ward down here. We didn't have a blue trinket set off right here or here. Obviously because they're in base, and we're thinking a little bit more defensive-minded right now. Nobody even saw this one. Always make that walk through when you're coming around. I'm pretty sure at least somebody walked through right here. So that's a little unfortunate, and it's something that we need to think about coming through. So something to take from this, always make sure to walk through the bushes as we're going through. It's not like they have a team on the other team, so we're not going to hit any traps or anything. So this right here is where everybody goes back with literally 0 vision, and at this point in the game, Baron is one of the most pivotal buffs that we can actually get in order to sway the game. Baron is what's going to make us win. We're a siege comp. We need Baron. So everybody makes the call to go back after just taking Dragon. And this is basically like free right here. This is literally one of the freest Barons I've ever seen. And this is just something you have to know, that that's the call that they're going to be making when something like this happens. So we'll speed it up because, yeah, they just take the Baron and... Okay, alright, so Pipsqueak realizes at least that, hey, guys, they're doing Baron, like, we should probably go up there. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, let's go do that. Do stuff and things. So start moving up. At this point, you're in blue trinket range. I'm not sure if it's down or not. Yeah, it's down. Nothing you could have done. Bolimo goes in after we've already lost it. I wish... Oh, let's go back. Let's see this engage. Oops. Titties. Back too far.
I did it already.
Okay. Alright, so let's look at this engage. So you guys see it? He's like... Bolimo says, oh fuck, Baron. Better get the fuck in there right now. Bam. Panic ult. That's fine. One thing, like I said, we want to look at how many targets you're hitting. And one thing I didn't mention before is where our team is at. So we want to make sure to know where our team is at and who can follow up and engage. So you pretty much go all in, doing your thing here, trying to be a carry, take on this guy. But you're with Mad Life. Not an absolutely terrible call, but these... Let's look at back here with our rest of our other 3 we're doing. So Uklar and Andrew back here. Uklar, oh man, that grab on Soraka would have ended that. Because Pipsqueak can destroy him. Yeah, see, look, one hit takes out almost half of his health. The grab would have won that. Oh, and Andrew makes the ult out. It's a decent call. All right, Pipsqueak, what I would have done right here, that definitely should have been a jump. Your jump is up. Yeah, that should have been a jump right there. That was definitely the call to make.
Jump in.
Yeah. See, pretty much what happened is everybody, like, you know, these guys staying out by themselves. You're able to take the tank out, but that's the thing. Like, by the time you're one carry, by the time you take out one of their tanks, their whole team did damage on our whole team. So it kind of came out even, sort of. But we could have done better with a little bit more focus. Because with a little bit more focus, we're going to be taking people out faster. So, like the point we've already hinted on, we need to stay as a single unit in fights, have a clear target that we need to focus, and execute on that in order to make the fights go a little bit smoother. Oh, fuck, it jumped alive. God damn it. Ass. Oh, okay, so I'm gonna call it. So at 37 minutes was the next thing I said. Man, so at this point right here, I made a note that Malphite has a frozen heart. So that's what you build. I think I already talked about this earlier. That's what you built that Warden's Mail in. And obviously, like, we've been in team fights and we've been in team situations for the most part. So you're kind of getting dicked on CS, and it's difficult in order to get money. But you basically finished it out and got back through that frozen heart. But you gotta look through some of those death recaps, and you gotta be able to notice that, man, I'm getting dicked from magic resist. I just gotta stop what I'm doing and start getting some of that. Just a build thing, something to note. Everybody else's builds, somewhat fine. But actually, man, what? I haven't said this at all about Andrew, but fuck, Andrew, you have 100% armor here. Definitely no Aegis. We have no Aegis against 1, 2, 3, 4 AP champions. 0 Aegis. Definitely something that's something you decide from the beginning of the game. Once you see that all of these champions are going to be doing at least the majority AP damage, Aegis should definitely be a part of your mind, especially as Gragas. It's going to be a core item on you. I understand the Frozen Heart with the cooldown reduction and the mana that comes with it.
Aegis goes into Locket.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, when I say Aegis, I mean Locket. I'm used to the time when Locket wasn't a thing. The only time where Aegis will not mean Locket is if I mean Banner of Command, and then I'll say Banner of Command. Sorry. Anyway, I guess maybe I can say that in the future. So anyway, that's just a quick thing on the builds. As far as the gameplay is going right now, they have Baron.
What he means is we do have one Locket.
I was just trying to say that Thresh has it.
Oh, you did say Thresh has a Locket. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that makes sense. And I mean, we still needed some magic resist out of you regardless. I get that. Oh, he went for the Eye of the Equinox? I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that at all. We definitely needed this shield this game. I would have gone for that and got a Sightstone instead. But that's okay. Those are just
What do you
small
think?
thing.
Should I have gone Abyssal this game?
Abyssal on Azir. Abyssal has a fairly short range on it. I believe for the most part, soldiers at mid to max range are not going to be utilized the best with an Abyssal Scepter. So 9 times out of 10, getting what I normally do on my mages is I get my 3 core items, go Void Staff. Almost always. Especially you see you got the 2 major magic resist items on 2 of their tanks. And a Void Staff magic pen is literally one of the best stats in the game because it's always useful. You can take somebody to negative magic resist. So it's literally infinitely useful as opposed to just straight magic damage. So, no, so to answer your question, no, I would not have gone for the Abyssal Scepter. I think that the Void Staff would have definitely been a better choice. As far as what's going on game-wise right here, I mean, they had Baron buff. They have, you know, we had one guy down pretty much the entire time. Like, we're really just getting dicked right here. There's really not a whole lot we can do. All right, so let's jump up to 40 minutes. Just got another note there. So yeah, they leave. Shit happens. They're just like, well, we're gonna push this wave up and do some shit. All right. So we got a repeat to what happened probably about 15 minutes ago when they were sieging down here. Except now we have pretty much a full team. Bolomo gets kind of fucked out right here. And just walks in with a 4v5. Again, it's just a positioning thing we just have to focus on. Gragas throws a barrel to try to get some of the heat off. I can agree with that. Boom. Malphite ult takes out the Soraka. It was more of an execute, though. Really, you could have went back to base, survived, came back with full health. Then we got a people advantage on him. Just the Soraka is not that big of a deal. You gotta. That's another thing. Just remember about the damage thing. Andrew, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're thinking right there. Bronze logic, man. Just something you got to think about. I mean, I understand the chase mentality. Everybody gets into it. But it's just something that you have to try to keep in the back of your mind to not get into the chase mentality and just let it go. If you don't have backup, you're 1v3. Just have the mindset to let it go. I would always back.
That was terrible.
I would always back the letting it go call than I would for a needless death. So that's just my 2 cents on it. Okay, so yeah, that happens, but we do get some good plays coming up. So let's go into that. They take all our shit. It just took our inhib. We're kind of dicked right now. Really, the only thing that we can do to come back into this game is we stay here, we farm these waves to try to get this gold lead back. We're really not far behind, honestly. So really what we need to do is need to get a good team fight, and we need to get Baron. That's our win condition right now. Because with Baron and a good winning team fight, that's us. Fuck, I can't pause it. God damn it. That'll be us close to winning the game. Alright, so right here we got another team fight coming up. Everybody's kind of split, but we have us moving in. Bolomo's kind of caught out. Mad Life's just saying, fuck it, I'm not trying to get hit by this shit. Moving out of the way. Andrew's moving in to do his job. Bolomo's sitting here and being mainly hella tanky. At this point, he does have an Abyssal Scepter, so we got that magic resist, and he's got an offensive item, so he's gonna be doing a little bit of damage, and he's making shit happen. Andrew's zoning off with a barrel. I like that idea. Great call. We have in this fight right here, we have Pipsqueak. Nobody's around him. Awesome call. The Gragas ult, you stunned him into the wall. Okay, I can agree with that. So far, everything's working well. Pipsqueak, at this point, I would have jumped in. And he does. Awesome. Great call. You get that guy away from you so he doesn't do the eat. I agree with that. Azir made a... I don't want to replay it because he just pretty much come up here and he fucked Lucian in the ass. That's really all that's necessary to see. Bolomo comes up, gets some damage down. I think everybody did a really good job that fight. For the most part, this was another time that Bolomo was kind of a little bit ahead, but it wasn't that much ahead. For the most part, we saw that we all... Let me back up just a little bit. So we see that you went in right there. You fucked everybody up, but you have backup. We have focus here. We're focusing on the carries, and we have backline here with Peel. Maybe not necessarily focusing the carries as Pipsqueak, but at least we have Peel for you, and we have one of our carries up here getting damage done to the backline with tanks up here. So, again, it's not a single unit, but we at least have targets in mind, and we have backup for each person. So I like the idea that going through. And then this right here, which is kind of unfortunate that he decided to make a TP call. Everybody backed up to grab him, but at this point he was already back here doing shit. I don't think there was much to do at this point. Yeah, we kill him. Whatever, that guy dies. Alright, so I believe we have another team fight coming up too. Oh, so that's right. We have an ace. We have an ace with hella long respawn times. We look here. We got... Actually, never mind. Everybody's almost back up, except for the top laner. So what else happens right here? So everybody's coming out. Oh, that's right. This guy comes back in. Blar does his thing. We take him out. Good call. Bolomo teleports in. It was an ult just on one, but at this point in the game, a carry is definitely a good call.
Soon. You'll see it.
So a good call. So both of those good picks. We have two people down on the team. One of them is the jungler. We have... Slow back down a little bit more. We do not have the ult advantage. The only big ults that they're really going to have is a Lucian ult and a fucking Zac ult. which is really minimal damage and then a disrupt. So with good focus, we can take them out easily. What I'm trying to get at this is Baron should have been the call right here. What you would have gotten out of this with 3 people defending, at best, you would have taken the 1 tower. Really, the main call here should have been the Baron. Baron would have helped in defending, would have helped in ending the game there in the base. There's just so many things that we could have got out of that. So, it's okay. I mean, it's fine. Everybody makes bad Baron calls. I'm probably #1 for making those bad. But like I said, especially in this patch now, and with a Siege team, that is probably actually the #1 reason. With a Siege team, every time, Baron should be the top priority. Actually, I think we should just make it that regardless of the situation, unless they have no Nexus turrets, no inhibs, and everyone is dead, you should go for Baron. We should make that call almost every time. So moving forward, we had a team fight. We got the 1 tower, but I mean, they're still... Actually, they're not ahead of us in gold. At this point in the game, though, we had already taken some tower damage from doing a dive and things like that. So there was really not a lot we can gain out of it.
Dilution for no reason.
Yeah, it was a little bit of an overextend. I think Mad Life makes it out, but regardless, it's just one more person to defend as they charge into our base. Okay, so the next point to note is at 47 minutes. So again, yeah, since they dicked us, they're like, well, Baron's up, might as well take that. We have half their team dead and the other 2 are in base. Just take that and go back. So that's the unfortunate part, because not only when we decide not to take Baron, do we not get it for ourselves in order to push in, but it then sets up perfectly for them to get in. And we did that by taking the tower and getting us all at low HP. So 2 things to think about. So they're making the push in now. And now they have Baron. Baron gives...
Alright guys, come on down to the check-in for the Monday night ARAM tournament in the check-in 6 p.m. lobby. Make sure you stop in before 7 o'clock. Bye.
Alright, yeah, I just heard that guy talking about the ARAM tournament. I definitely want to play in that. So we're going to do this game, and then I'll do the other game in a separate VOD. So anyway, so they're coming through. Baron is going to give marginal stats. So everybody's staying this far back. I'm not really sure what Andrew and Bolamo are thinking right here. We can definitely move up and make a little bit of an effort on here. Minion waves, yes, are going to do damage, and typically it's not a great idea to engage in on a minion wave. But this is late game. Your minion waves are negligible as far as the damage on 2 hefty tanks like this. That's definitely a call where we need to try to single somebody out, and let's try to make a pick on right there. We have them in a confined spot, and we know what can happen. And from here, there's really nothing else to note in the game. We'll have a team fight. Well, actually, I guess we could look at the team fight. Alright, so we'll take a peek on the team fight. Let's see what happens. So we got Bolamo again. What he does, it happens all the time, is Malphite. You see the clump, and you're like, man, that's a good pick right there. I'm going to go in on that. You went in just a little bit early. At that one, I wouldn't even really say that was a really bad call, because it was at a decent time, but just a few seconds later, and the whole team would have been there, and that would have been a truly amazing play. That's the only thing that separated that, was just a few seconds. And what it does is it gave time in order for backup to come in. There's Zach right here. And at this point, Zach is literally like dishing out shit tons of damage. Because that champion is fucking OP. Zach and Elise are my mains in Season 3. Season 2, sorry. No, it was Season 3. Yeah, Season 3 was back when they were... Because Season 3 was the season for Elise being really OP. But yeah, right here, pretty much everybody just gets dicked, and then we lose the game. That's pretty much all we got left here. So I'm going to slow it down before the game ends, and we'll look at build paths, because Pipsqueak want to look at that. As far as your prioritization, you prioritize the IE, which I can agree with. For attack speed, you went first one gun. I don't agree with the first one gun. Out of all of the attack speed items, I feel gun is a good secondary attack speed item, and a lot of the times I do get it third, fourth, or fifth item. But as far as second item, I typically would not go ever for the rapid fire cannon. Really, the best bet I found on almost everybody is Runans. I even tried it out on Tristana earlier, and it's just a great item. When you have longer range, it always pays off the dividends. So I would go for Runans, Static Shiv, or even Phantom Dancer. Those are always going to be, all of those I feel are a lot better options stats-wise and as far as situation-wise than Rapid Fire Cannon. Because at that point in the game, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get that longer range for one hit, and you're not going to be one-hitting somebody mid-game. So, or even doing a massive amount of damage to somebody in one hit mid-game. So I really can't see a situation where Rapid Fire Cannon is going to be a better choice than the other two. Sorry to break it to you, but Bork is out of the meta. Literally, with all of the attack speed items being so OP and giving such great stats, the shitty attack damage, the nominal lifesteal, as well as the actual active on Blade of the Rune King, if you're having to use the active that much, then your positioning is not that great. Because as I've found, and this is for me playing in the meta for a while, I have not found a situation where I really needed to use the Blade of the Rune King, except for with the exception of maybe a few champions that are extra squishy. But even still, I've found that even still moving to, what am I thinking of? Bloodthirster is a better alternative. Because of the shield, it gives more lifesteal. It's just a better item as far as stats-wise. I would always go with that one. Mercurial Scimitar, yeah, I mean, good choice they have. Shit tons of CC. It's a great magic. It's great all-around fucking item. LDG, or LDR, yeah. Lord Dominic's Regards is obviously a core item. So yeah, that's good. Me personally, I don't like the Equinox pick. But I feel like the support item build here is highly debatable. He could be right, I could be wrong. There's a few things on that. The 80 carry meta, I do know for sure. I would definitely not recommend building Bork on much of anybody other than Twitch. If you're gonna do like a what's what I'm thinking of, a Ghostblade Bork combo, that is very good for an early game transition. Other than that, I really can't think of a situation where you're ever going to build Bork and have it actually work out well for you. And then I think we talked about Gragas and Malphite's builds enough this game. So we already know about that. So, overall, the things that we want to take out of this game is... so the lane matchup on top was definitely difficult. And Bolmo, I mean, there's no need to say on it. We're just going to... It's probably not something you're going to run into again. But just step on blobs if you do get into a Zac matchup, and that'll be a lot easier. Towers versus dragons, especially when we're in a siege comp, that's something that we want to prioritize, and we want to make sure that we're setting up our minion waves in order to get those done, and we need to rotate into that. So we want to make a big wave, and then after we make the big wave, we want to leave that lane and have 4 to 5 people in another lane focusing on trying to take out that tower. That's going to be what moves us forward in the game. Because regardless, even if we don't get damage on the tower we all force in, then those minions out of the super wave we make, they'll at least get some damage done on the tower. And that's forward progress. On our engages, we need to think more like a single unit. We need to try to group, especially in the comp like this where we had such heavy engage and even disengage. We want to move as a unit and have a carry in mind that we want to call out for. So once we're going in, we have Bolmo going in with his Malphite. He's calling on Lucian or Azir when he's going in, or even the sorry, not Azir, Lucian or Victor, or even the Soraka if he gets them in there and they're out of position. We make the call, we blow them up, we move on to the next one. We should when those fights come, they should be like, I'm sure you've heard the LCS matches where they're just screaming the one person's name and everybody's screaming in unison. That's what we need to hear. I want everybody focusing on the main target and everybody saying who they're hitting so we all know what's going on. And let's not make it a debate. When you're saying who you're hitting, if you're not saying the same person that the initiator called out, then you're wrong. You need to be going on. If it's the wrong call, let's make the wrong call together. And if with the right amount of focus, you can still take out the correct targets and move a team fight forward. And if you don't take out the right targets, then you know the next time the one that you need to focus on. So let's focus on a little bit of unison there. And then Barons being greater than Dragons. We saw in this game we made a Dragon call when it should have been a Baron call. Like I said, guys, the big thing we're going to take out of this is when we're going into games, we're going to want to try to get Dragon less. I know it seems like a weird thing to focus on a major objective less in the game, but it's something that right now you guys put a lot of stock in, more than most players do in this meta. And I think it'll help you out a lot if we think about Dragon as less of a resource and more of a distraction. So we're going to go with that in future games. I know I shit on you guys a lot the earlier games on ward coverage, but honestly, ward coverage was fairly decent in this game. I pointed out a lot of good spots to put it at, and for the most part, we did that. Like I said, moving it up with the turret lines, we didn't necessarily get to move up this game a whole lot. So it's hard to... I didn't really get to talk about offensive warding, but our defensive warding I felt was pretty fine. It was a good... I felt it was a pretty strong suit. So, that's going to conclude our Game 1 VOD. I will do Game 2 later tonight or tomorrow. And I will also, when we find a decent spot to upload my notes to, I'm going to upload that. We can put that in a spot and you can go along with the game with my notes and maybe take some things out of it for what you will. So, yeah. Enjoy, guys. Thanks for watching.